Hey students, Michael Sanchez, violin teacher here. I want to go over 5 tips to help you play faster on the violin, and I wanted to start by playing Orange Blossom Special, as that's a piece that has our fingers smoking, I like to say. So let me go ahead and start with that, and then I'm going to go through the tips with you guys. So to get those fingers flying, it's so important to follow some really good fundamentals. So I'm going to be going over those with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that piece. I love playing fiddle as well as violin. So the first one is keeping your fingers close. So keeping fingers close is so key when you're playing the violin. So a lot of you guys, you're lifting fingers way too far up in the air. So you're putting a finger down, and then your other finger pops up in the air. And what happens is now you have this much distance to come back into the fingerboard, which is, that much more time that's going to take, obviously, to be able to play fast. So what I want you guys to really focus on is as you're pressing fingers down, don't make your fingers pop up in the air too much. Try to keep them as close as possible. Number 2, light pressure. So a lot of you guys, and those of you guys that attended my vibrato webinar here recently, really emphasized the contact that we're making into the strings. So a lot of you guys are just over pressing into the fingerboard. You're over pressing. And when you overpress, that causes tension in the hand that makes it hard to do vibrato, but also makes it hard to play fast, because ultimately we want to be able to have these fingers go super fast to be able to play these fast songs. And if we're overpressing, we're just overdoing it to where we're not going to be able to play as fast. So what I want you guys to focus on is try to be, right before the nail as far as your finger contact. Don't actually use the nail, but just as close as you can get. That's the hardest part of the skin. That makes it to where you can press down the least but still get the same amount of finger contact into the fingerboard. So highly recommend you guys to work on light pressure to be able to play faster on the violin. Number 3 is finger angles. So a lot of you guys know I emphasize finger angles a lot. So if you guys have finger angles more here instead of being here, what that's going to do is it's going to make it hard to reach that 4 and that low 1 when you're trying to play fast. So these fingers have to just be ready to go at all times, whether you have a low 1 here and all of a sudden a 4 here. You can't be coming in and out with your finger angles. So the 4 steps that I teach students is thumb position here, even with where you put your first finger, hand back by the nut, hand high about where the crack in the hand is right here. So you don't want to be here, you want to be lower. And then turn. So if you do those 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, then your fingers can just fall down, and that allows you to be able to play faster. Very good. Number 4, finger height. So I kind of mentioned that. But yeah, if the hand is too low, it makes it impossible to sort of reach those extreme notes, and ultimately you're going to have a harder time playing fast. So one thing I like to really point out to students is look at how your first finger knuckle lines up. So if your first finger knuckle looks more like this, see how it's sort of down here? It should be more like this. So really try to pay attention to what you're doing with that first finger knuckle. That's going to really give you a sign if you're in position to play fast. Ultimately, when you're in that position, you can just squeeze back for that B flat, that low 1, which is ultimately what you want to be able to do. Number 5 is practice your scales. So many of you guys are just not practicing enough scales. That really helps with speed as you just get more familiarized with half steps and whole steps, and you get more confident with intonation. So I highly recommend, if you guys are beginners, master G major, D major, and C major scales. If you're more advanced, make sure that you have all your flat scales down: B flat major, E flat major. If you're shifting in a third position, try to make sure you guys know how to do D major and C major into third position, eventually F major into fifth position. So yeah, just being able to practice your scales is going to really help. So here's me practicing a G major scale. Ultimately, I could practice that a lot faster, and then all the different scales that you can play. So hope this video helped you guys out as far as understanding some things that maybe you guys could be doing to improve your speed on the violin. I'll conclude with playing a little Devil Went Down to Georgia, as I know you guys love that song, at least some of you do. That one has your fingers flying, so here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.